Mic check. 1, 2. On my way to third. Flow sick. Put a straight jacket on my words. Look, man, we got to get right into this, okay? Now, I've sat with this for about 24 hours, right? I've sat with it, and I don't know how. It's unbelievable, okay? Now, let me preference everything I'm about to say by saying, Devonta Smith, we love you, dog, okay? When we drafted you, we didn't have a receiver, okay? We didn't have a receiver. You were there's leading up to now, there's nothing bad I could have ever said about Devonta Smith. His journey, he was a Heisman Trophy winning receiver. That never happens. He won a Heisman in college as a receiver. I mean, he's playing football like 160, 75 pounds at like 5'11. I mean, so I just love the guy. Okay. I can't say enough about him, his character, how he plays, what he's brought to the Philadelphia Eagles in our organization. You cannot deny him of that. He's the leader of the team. He's a great young player, okay? And he has the ability to be an elite receiver. I think he's top 10 without a doubt. Easily. He's easily top 10. Easily. The route running, the hands, he's going to get the ball. He's breaking tackles. Like, he runs hard. Like, bro, he blocks. Come on, man. He's definitely top 10. Don't play like that, okay? But I'm saying all that to say this. I rock with Devonta Smith, okay? I like Devonta Smith, okay? But the comment that I heard yesterday. So Devonta Smith went on a podcast, I Am Athlete. Okay, I clipped it up, put my own little clip. Okay, whatever, sauced it up. Okay, but if you want to find the full unedited version, which is pretty much the same thing that he's saying now, you can go to I Am Athlete. Just YouTube it or whatever. It's the latest episode or whatever. Just you'll find it. I Am Athlete, Devonta Smith. Okay. Devonta Smith pretty much says Jalen Hurts' turnover is the reason why the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Okay, that's pretty much what he's saying. I mean, let's just play it. Let's just play it and go from there.
This one thing, we'll be right where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one. We had that one big turnover. The offense, we gave up 7 points. I mean, that was basically the difference of the game.
What are you guys missing? We can overcome this one thing. We'll be right where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost.
Okay, so
Last one. We had that one big turnover. The offense, we gave up 7 points. I mean, that was basically the difference of the game.
What are you guys missing? We can overcome this one thing. We'll be right where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one. We had that one big turnover. The offense, we gave up 7.
We had that one big turnover, the Jalen Hurts turnover. Let me tell you something right now, you little ass nigga, bro. Let me tell you something, you baby ass boy, okay? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Devonta Smith. After the fumble, the score was 4-24. Okay? After the turnover. After Jalen Hurts' turnover, the score was 14-24. Sorry. The score was 14-24. We're up 10 at the half. Yeah, we could have. Okay, the fumble would have gave us an extra possession. We may have scored, or it could have been 17-24, whatever. The bottom line is this. At half, we're up 10 points. The fumble, it does not matter after this. The fumble, in hindsight, okay, yeah. But the fumble did nothing to change the complexity of this game. We know this. How do we know this? Because the score was 14-24. We're up 10 at half. We're up 2 possessions. I don't care about that fumble. He fumbled. They scored a touchdown. Okay. We went right back and scored a touchdown, and we got a field goal to end the half. We're up 10 in the Super Bowl with 2 quarters left to play. That fumble, none of that stuff matters in the first half, honestly, because we're up 10. The fumble, the turnover the turnover meant nothing after this because we're up 10. We're up 10. The turnover is so irrelevant. They scored. Cool. They scored. We went right back and scored and got a field goal, and we're up 10. The fumble is irrelevant. No one cares about it. That's the haters. The haters bring up, oh, well, look, Jalen Hurts fumbled. Let's look at his entire record-breaking Super Bowl performance in which he played better than Patrick Mahomes, okay? He completed 71% of his passes. He threw for 304 yards. He averaged 8 yards a play per pass. He had a passing touchdown. He could have had 2, but Devonta Smith just ran out of bounds like he couldn't go score. But whatever. He could have had 2. He had 1 touchdown. His longest was a 45-yard bomb. We know who. He was sacked twice. His rating was a 103.4 with a QBR of 79.7, and he completed 71. Come on, man. Elite. But that's not it. That's not it. Let's look at the rushing. 15 carries, 70 yards. He averaged 4.7 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. So he had 4 total touchdowns. The only quarterback in Super Bowl history to rush for 3 rushing touchdowns with a longest of 28. He's unblemished this entire season. He's unblemished. He's the closest thing to perfection from what the entire world has seen. The fumble did nothing for the outcome of the game. I mean, dog, he scored every touchdown. Why are you bringing up the turnover and the fumble? First off, my boy, the question, that wasn't even the question, bro. I mean, you just said a whole lot. Here's the thing with a receiver, okay? I'm going to get into the comments. I just got to get all of this out, bro. I'm going to get into the comments. But here's the thing as a receiver, okay? Here's the thing as a receiver. You're never going to call out your quarterback because he's throwing you the ball, doofus. You depend on the quarterback, okay? You depend on the quarterback. If your quarterback is throwing you the ball, I get it. It's Jalen Hurts. I get it. It's Jalen Hurts. Okay, we understand that. That's not going to face him. We know. But still, Devonta Smith, you don't go on a podcast during OTAs and say this. You just don't. Even if he has a point, even if it's not nothing, you don't say this. This is someone throwing their teammate under the bus. Like, come on, man. Like, and for people to not acknowledge it, I mean, the fans, okay, whatever. You fans, you're going to support him. Cool. I am as well. But when he's wrong, I have an obligation to actually speak on it because I'm making content for you guys. So who would I be? What kind of content creator would I be if I don't? You know, I mean, this if it was anybody else, it's, oh yeah, you're calling them out. But here's the thing with Devonta, I would say Devonta don't play about turnovers. He don't like turnover. Devonta Smith is a dog, okay? After the Christmas game, he like, yeah, the turnovers did it for us. Buddy is going to point out turnovers. He don't play about turnovers, okay? All right. But my whole thing, man, it just doesn't sit well that you're saying this about the quarterback who carried bro, we seen you without I've seen Devonta Smith, I've seen the Philadelphia Eagles without Jalen Hurts. They couldn't beat a Saints team. They couldn't beat the Saints. Okay, without your quarterback, you're nothing. There's no way I'm calling this guy out. He does everything for the team. Why am I calling out the guy who does everything for the team? I don't understand it. Why? Why am I doing that? Hold on, guys. So the fumble, I mean, did nothing. I mean, Jalen Hurts was the star. I mean, he pretty much did everything for the offense. He scored every touchdown for the offense. I mean, extreme amount of production. His total yards. Okay, you add the 70 with the amount of passing yards. 70 rushing yards and 304. So he has 374 total yards and 4 touchdowns. One fumble. Okay, that led to it. Okay, cool. With a 71% completion percentage and a QBR of set almost 80 and a quarterback rating of 103. You can't. I mean, maybe if this fumble happened in the fourth quarter, okay, I understand that. If the fumble happens in the fourth or in and crunch time, oh yeah, well, let's talk about it. Dude, we were up 10 after the fumble. We were up 10 after the fumble. This is disgusting. This is disgusting to me. Honestly, this is disgusting. It's a disgrace. I can't believe he would act like, you know what? Let me just I want to hear it. I want to hear this one more time.
I mean, that was basically the difference of the game.
What are you guys missing? We can overcome this one thing. We'll be right where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one.
Okay.
We had that one big turnover.
He asks, "What are you guys missing? What are we missing?" Dude, it's so many different ways to answer this question. It's so many different ways he could have actually answered this.
What are you guys missing? We can overcome this one thing. We'll be right.
What are you guys missing? If we can overcome this one thing, I would have. You could. Okay, what are you missing? I feel like we're just we aren't really missing anything. We just have to put everything together and continue to put in the work. There's so many avenues you could have answered this question. You could have answered this question in so many different ways. Like I mean, or you could have said, "Hey, one of the, I could, I have to be better. I have to continue. We all just have to all continue to improve collectively." You don't but you don't do this. You just don't do this, dog. What the heck? You don't do this especially as a receiver. Like, he has to throw you the ball, and come on, man. You just don't do this. You don't. If you played, when you're throwing someone under the bus, you know exactly how that looks and how that sounds. If you played, okay, if you could put your fandom, your bias to the side, you get this is bad. This is bad, but I get it. That Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith probably talked about it, or Devonta Smith could be like, yeah, let's give him some more fuel to have an even better year, or I think they're tight enough, and we know who Jalen Hurts are. This isn't really going to affect the team much. I mean, because if I don't see him actually saying this if Jalen Hurts wasn't, you know what I'm saying? If he wasn't cool with Jalen Hurts hearing it. So they're cool. They're tight. I mean, they played in college together. I mean, they're close. They're buddies. Okay. So I don't think this is going to affect Jalen Hurts. They probably talk about it, or I don't think it really would be. It shouldn't become a thing. Now, if this was Carson Wentz, yes, this would be a problem. If it was Carson Wentz, but again, I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You don't. I mean, you look at the guy's performance in the Super Bowl. How can you blame him for a turnover? I don't get it. Let's run down through the comments. I'm gonna get to you guys. Trust me. But how do you do this? How do you say this about your quarterback that was by far the best player on the planet that night? Okay, breaking history, breaking records, and making history in the Super Bowl on the biggest stage of them all. He's making history. How can you? There, I mean, and it's unblemished. I mean, if we go back to the fumble happened in the second. I mean, it happened in the first half, and we were still up 10. You know, he fumbled and went and got us a touchdown. So he erased that quick. It was like it didn't happen. To point that out as the reason we lost, bro, that's so fucking pathetic, man. That's pathetic, bro. And bro, like I don't agree with it. I don't like it at all. Okay, I'm not here to voice my opinion, you know, to please everyone else. I'm gonna state how I see it. It's wrong. Imagine if somebody did this to Carson Wentz. You know, Carson Wentz was soft and all kind of stuff. You don't do that to your quarterback, especially when he had one of the all-time great Super Bowl performances. How can you point that out for a loss? For the reason they lost. You didn't even have to bring up the loss. You didn't have to even bring up the Super Bowl loss or the turnover. You didn't even have to do any of that. That's my take. I think it was like crazy that he even, you know, look at her smirking. Like, bro, and like, I mean, bro, maybe this was like for some clickbait or to get a hot topic or something, you know. But I don't like this shit. Okay, let's get into the comments, and I'm gonna move right along. Let's just get into the comments. I'm gonna start from the very first comment, and we gonna go from there. Okay. JV says, "Hello. I'm a huge fan. I appreciate you, man. Much love to you. You're a huge fan. Let me give you a mod, bro. Let me give you a mod. There you go, gang. Got you. How you gonna argue? How you going? Jeremy Usry says, how you gonna argue that going into going to that half 31-7 will have completely changed the outcome of the second half, along with the momentum of it, also wouldn't have allowed the Chiefs run. How you gonna argue that going into the half 31-7? No, there's no 31-7 because it didn't happen. Okay, there was no 31-7. We've seen what the score was at half. We're talking 14-24. You said 31-7? Oh, because we scored a touchdown and that fumble touchdown is mitigated or canceled out. That didn't happen, bro. So we're not arguing something that didn't happen. Don't argue something that's not happening or didn't happen. So nice try. That was a nice try, honestly. Ramon Farmer says he did not take a shot at Hurts at all. He said the whole offense as a whole turnover we gave up. That's not what I played what he said. This is another L. This is another L comment. I literally played what was said. So you don't tell me what he said because we're hearing what he said ourselves. So yeah, bro, you can't do that. You can't do that, man. Another L comment. You know, come with some heat. Again, you're talking, Jeremy, you talking about 31-7 at half. That's not what the score is. 14-24 at half, and we're up 2 possessions. So, I mean, Come on, man. Talk to me here. If you're gonna comment, you can't deny facts. You can't deny them. Exactly. It was more of a factor than any other failed play. We had a large party of the game. I don't what I mean. Okay, it was more of a factor than any other. No, we were up 10 at the half. We scored a touchdown and we just kicked the field goal to end the half. We have the momentum. We're up. We're up. I mean, what? I mean, okay, bro. 31-7. There's no 31-7. There's no 31-7. 14-24. Come on, man. Come with some real stuff, bro. All right, okay, let's go. Let's just all right, let's move right along. It was the offense. The defense sucked. It wasn't the offense. Exactly, Jake. It wasn't the offense, Jake. It wasn't. So why are you like it wasn't? It definitely wasn't the quarterback. So why are you singling out a fumble that happened in the first half? And we were still up 10. So if that fumble was that detrimental, that just shows you guys fed off of the fumble. And was like, oh, he fumbled. Look at him, made a mistake. Or, if that fumble was that bad, if that fumble was that costly to a win, that just shows his teammates around him was on something iffy. Because it didn't matter. We were up 10. I don't care about that. We're still up. Let's go win this game. Okay, let's hear what Jeremy has to say again. So if he is the best factor of the game and he turns the ball over and give up 7, that is irrelevant if we're up 10 points after that at the half. We're still up 10. Like, it don't matter. We're still up 10. We're in a game. I mean, we're winning. I don't get it. I feel like unintentional. He threw Jalen under the bus. The offense didn't take care of the ball. There was only one turnover, but maybe he means touchdowns because Quez. No. We know exactly what he said. It's cut and dry. It's cut and dry what he said, bro. We got it here. It's cut and dry.
Where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one.
The reason we lost the last one was turnovers. It was not even turnovers. It was one turnover from Jalen Hurts. That didn't matter because we're up 10. For Devonta Smith to say this is extremely alarming. It really is. It's really alarming because you don't throw your quarterback under the bus as a receiver. You can't do that. You can't do that, bro. This. This is like a big, you cannot say this shit, bro. It's wild. You can't say this. The one big turnover. It wasn't a big turnover if we're up 10 still. We still had the lead. We're up 2 possessions. I didn't care about that, bro. After the half, I'm like, oh, we're up 10. We still control this game. Dude, I don't know what he's saying right now. I don't know what Buddy talking about, honestly. That was basically the difference of the game. Devonta, somebody, bro, need to pull you to the side and check you for this, bro. For real. AJ Brown got to get up on him, get on his ass. For real. Like AJ Brown, go holler at Devonta Smith for this. Somebody better pull Buddy to the side and talk about what he just said. You got to, bro. You have to. This was just wild. You get on I Am Athlete, one of the most popular football podcasts in the world, and you just say this. Like, come on, bro. What? That was like so out of the order. That was so random. This was so random, dude. You didn't have to say any of this, bro. You look guilty. You just look guilty in your eye. You shouldn't have said that.
What are you guys missing? We can
Okay, please don't. Touch says, please don't tell me he meant it in a disrespectful way. You don't. I don't know that. You can't determine. You can't determine that. You can't determine motive. I just know, dude. You can't say this about your quarterback. Who does that? I'm flabbergasted. This is unbelievable. This is the craziest thing I've seen this offseason if the Philadelphia Eagles. The Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith is wild. This is right next to craziness. This is like crazy. This is unbelievable. I can't believe he said this. This is wild to me. Speak your mind, bro. I highly disagree with your reasoning or your feeling and opinion. Oh, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. We don't have to agree. It's just different point of views, which they can all collide and come together, and we both can, kind of actually see a different side of things. So that's important. It's not like a debate, a disagreement, or anything. This is more like a conversation. And most, a lot of people, they don't mind this. You don't call out your quarterback. I mean, we know players, they know this though, especially with a quarterback. I don't understand it, especially when the fumble again. We were up 10 at the half, so it wasn't that detrimental. It wasn't. He could have said penalties. Say penalties, because with penalties you take accountability on the players. You say penalties because the penalties is what lost us the game with Bradbury. Or that was bigger than anything. You say penalties, bro. You say penalties because when you say penalties again, you're taking accountability as a player that, hey, we made mistakes ourselves and we got flagged for things that we shouldn't have been doing. We should know better. That's the real answer here. Penalties. You don't go blame your quarterback. That was, perfect. It was perfection. That was one of the best Super Bowl performances from a quarterback. The best Super Bowl performance from a losing quarterback. Unbelievable performance. A record-breaking performance. 4 total touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Never happened by a quarterback. Dude, you can't, because everybody knows who watched the game. A fumble didn't mean a thing. It didn't. At half, you're like, oh, I'm up 10. It could be more, but who cares? We're still leading by 2 possessions. You don't just blow a 2-possession lead in a Super Bowl, bro. Let me finish these. 14 points right before halftime is a big 14 points. Okay, bro. I gotta run through these. I agree. You can't let everything go. I don't think he meant in a disrespectful way. Also, I think that it's kind of right, but that's not what mainly lost us the game. It's not. And you don't come out and say that, even if you're right. You don't say this. You don't broadcast this type of stuff, man. You don't do it. Like, what don't you guys really understand about this? If he's right or wrong, you can't make statements like this publicly about your quarterback. You can't do this. This is something that does not supposed to happen. It's kind of that simple. You don't go out and say this type of thing about your teammates. Okay. AJ Brown called out Minshew. I was fine with it because I'm like, I don't care about Minshew. Honestly, I was like, cool. I actually liked it. But with your quarterback, with your franchise guy, you don't do this. With any player at all, you don't do this. You saying the fumble was the turnover was the deciding factor. It's the reason that they lost was the turnover. Come on, man. That's not the reason they lost. We lost. Smitty was going off in the Super Bowl, though. The incomplete catch was a clear catch. I wasn't even referring to that. It was. He caught a wide open touchdown and he just went out of bounds. Like, he was in the goal line. He was in the red zone, and Jalen Hurts had to go get that himself. Jalen Hurts had to go rush it in, and then he had to go get the 2-point conversion. Devonta Smith didn't finish that play. So he had an amazing performance. But why would I nitpick at something so minuscule as the reason we lost? That's what Devonta Smith is doing here. He took a shot at Jalen Hurts, which is unbelievable. This is wild, bro. I can't believe he actually took a shot at Jalen Hurts. I can't believe it, bro. Mahomes was roided up. Mahomes was, man, they gave him a shot and he was good. He finished, though. Don't take it out of context. He puts it on his off. Okay, don't take it out of context. I'm not. First off, I'm going off what he's saying. Okay, you can go read. You can go see the actual clip. Okay, iamathlete.com/Devonta Smith. He's saying the exact same thing I'm playing here. Okay, we're hearing the same thing. Okay, bro, it's not out of context. You can't take something simple out of context. You can't do that. He said it. It's impossible to take this out of context. I'll read it again for you, Benjamin.
This one thing
Well, I would let it
will be
play.
right where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one. We had that one big turnover. The offense, we gave up 7 points. I mean, that was basically the difference of the.
Now, any other quarterback, bro, I would not. You would. You definitely not. If I'm Jalen Hurts, which I know Jalen Hurts not going to be like this, but bro, any other quarterback, you hear this, I'm not going to target you. If you said this about Ben Roethlisberger, he wouldn't target you, bro. Like you wouldn't be getting a ball. Like I mean, bro, you can't. I wouldn't. I'm not saying this to a guy to have. I'm not making this kind of statement to a guy that I'm depending on to get me the ball. You know, like, bro, this is weird. This is weird. This is weird to me. Making too much out of it. Not really. I mean, it is what it is. I'm really trying to move on from this, but it's just it's wild to me. You know what I mean? Accountability. I mean, accountability is fine, but you don't, he's not taking accountability for himself. He's blaming someone else. He's not taking accountability. If you want to take accountability, say, hey, I could have ran my routes better. I could have done this better. I could have done that better. He's not taking accountability at all. You know, he's not taking any accountability. Just because he's placing it on the offense had nothing to do with that. Turnover. It was strictly Jalen Hurts. So he's not saying the offense as a whole. This is wild that we defending this, bro. And I could just really break this down and just like destroy every comment that someone's making that is actually agreeing with this. He's not even taking accountability, because if you're taking accountability, you're talking about things that you could have done better. He's talking about something somebody else did wrong. Like, come on, man, that's some whole shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Exactly. Jalen even took accountability for the turnover. Yeah, Jalen can take accountability, cool, because it's Jalen's fault. Devonta has no right to even speak on Jalen Hurts' turnover, man. Like, why are you bringing that up, bro? When it really had nothing, it wasn't the dude. This is wild. This is wild, bro. Because we're acting like this happened in crunch time in the fourth quarter or something, or this was such a minuscule point in the game. It just shows Jalen Hurts is going to have to be perfect. If he's getting blamed for the reason that we lost the Super Bowl, after if that's even being questioned, I feel sorry for Jalen Hurts in his career, because he's going to have to be perfect, and no one's perfect. Dude is going to have to be perfect. Literally, he's going to have to be perfect. Jalen Hurts is going to have a perfect career. Because, I mean, for God's sake, he fumbled in the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Oh, wow. People are saying that's the deciding factor. That's the reason we lost. When we were still up 10 at the half, and he gave us the lead back, and like, dog, I feel this is horrible right now. This is horrible. Because if he's not perfect, he's going to, oh, man, it's going to. And no one's perfect, so he's going to make mistakes. And now this is where like wild that how dude is going to have to be perfect, or there's going to be some. But for it to come from your teammates, that's sad, dog. It is, like, for real. I should hear nothing bad nothing should ever, from a player perspective, you shouldn't ever have anything to even say bad about Jalen Hurts, or even insinuate it, or whatever, dog. This was wild. This is red flags. I'm keeping an eye on Devonta Smith, man, because he was just weird. This was weird, bro. You a weirdo for this, bro. For real. You shouldn't even say this. Because he fumbled the ball that caused the turnover without being touched. I don't care, bro. I don't care. He fumbled. Okay, they scored 7 points, but we were still up 10 at the half. So that's not why we lost. You see this? Look, we were still up 10. We were still at what on MC. You see that? The score says 14-24 at halftime. This was after the fumble, and we're still up 10. It's irrelevant. It's a mute point. That's the argument for the haters. The haters is bringing up the fumble. The haters are bringing up the fumble. And I'm like, bro, why you only the haters bring that up? Smitty was speaking the truth, though. And he was, but you don't say that. No, he wasn't speaking the truth. He was not speaking the truth. He was not speaking the truth. Touch, he wasn't. We're going to have to disagree on this one, my boy. He wasn't speaking the truth because the fumble is not the reason we lost. So the fumble, the reason we lost? No. If you're saying the fumble, the reason we lost, you just don't know what you're talking about, okay? You just don't know what you're talking about, and I'm not going to waste my time even. The fumble is not the reason we lost. He's not speaking the truth. He's saying that we lost because of the fumble. That's not why we lost. That's not why we lost the game. It was not because of the fumble. That's weird. If we're up, look, again, I'll show you again, man. We're up 10, we're up 2 possessions, 10 points in the Super Bowl. The fumble, everything that happened at half doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're up 10. I don't care about what happened in the first half. If we're going into the second half up 10 points. The first half was irrelevant. Let's talk about what happened in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. I mean, like, come on, bro. What are we talking about here? He crazy. He wild for this, bro. And again, I love Devonta Smith, but I could be honest, bro. I could be honest here. Tutt says we would have won. How do you know that? You can't say that. Okay. We would have won, especially with the momentum. You can't. That's what ifs. I want to talk about some facts, but it's not like he was saying Hurts lost them the game. That's exactly what he said. The turnover, that's exactly what he said. Touch. It's not, bro. We're trying to make too much of it. That's what he's saying. He thought the play, bro. Nah, bro. I mean, I don't know how we can make something so confusing and try to. If we're having trouble interpreting this,
what are you guys missing? We can overcome this one thing. We'll be right where we left off last year.
Turnover. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one.
I feel like that's the reason we lost the last one. Turnovers. He say turnovers. That's the reason I feel like we lost the last one. The reason we lost the last one was because of a turnover. The turnover wasn't because of the offense. It was because of Jalen Hurts. He just fumbled the ball. Okay? He's talking about Jalen Hurts' fumble. What are we saying here? Okay? Come on, man. He's saying it right out his mouth. If this is hard to, if this is if this is controversy, I mean, this is obvious he's calling out, his quarterback, But I mean, if this is a thing to where for something so cut and dry to be debated or questioned, that's weird, bro. That's kind of like delusional, bro. He just blatantly said it. I mean, I don't know.
We had that one big turnover. The offense, we gave up 7 points.
We had that one big turnover. The offense gave up 7 points. It wasn't the offense. It was Jalen Hurts. The offense had nothing to do with that play. He's not singling out the offense because it wasn't a botched snap between the quarterback and no one had anything to do with that fumble but Jalen Hurts. Like, come on, man. Come on, dog. I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know. And that was the difference of the game. I mean, come on, bro. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Offense controls what they can control. Come on, man. Okay. Defense controls their side, and even the special teams hold themselves accountable. Come on, it's not about accountability, because if you're taking accountability, you're talking about yourself. He didn't take accountability for anything. Can we stop saying accountability? He didn't take accountability for anything. Just because he plays offense doesn't mean he's taking accountability. Accountability is when you're taking account about yourself. He's talking about Jalen Hurts. The offense didn't cause that fumble. Jalen Hurts strictly fumbled on his own. Okay, come on, man. This ain't that difficult to read to even. Okay. Hurts didn't lose the game. Thank you. Cool. Okay, maybe the play changed the game. Whatever. I doubt it because we're still up 10 and nobody cares. For real. Hurts didn't lose the game. Okay, he didn't lose the game then. But that's what Devonta Smith is saying. He's saying that turnover is the reason that we lost. He's saying it. Like, I'm not making nothing up, bro. You hear him saying it out of his mouth. So again, okay, thank you. Hurts didn't lose the game. Period. Jeremy, exactly. Okay, so we agree. He didn't lose the game. So what are you talking about, Devonta Smith? Because Devonta Smith is saying Jalen Hurts fumble lost us the game. And you guys are saying that's not the case. That's what I'm saying as well. So Devonta Smith is wrong, bro. He's tripping. He's tripping right now. What is you talking about, dude? You're drunk. Something is wrong with you, bro. I think that's what Smitty was trying to say. Nah, you can't interpret this. This is too easy to. There's no interpretation with something so simplistic. Come on, man. It's too simplistic to even let's say, oh, let's interpret what's going on here. There's nothing to interpret. There's nothing to interpret. Imagine if Smitty said the defense sucked second half. You don't say anything about, you don't point fingers. So that would have been wrong. You don't point fingers at anybody. Just say, hey, penalties, or we have to be better collectively. I could have done something more with a couple of my routes, or these guys know how to handle the media. They take classes on it. So I mean, this was just crazy. I mean, come on, man. You don't call out your quarterback or any other teammate, especially Jalen Hurts, bro. We were driving the ball and it was all right, bro. Okay. All right, Brian. I'm not okay, bro. Whatever, bro. He was telling the truth, and I love my Eagles. They have to hold each other responsible, but not in public. You don't come out and say this publicly. You do it privately. You don't. That's like me going out. Come on, bro. You don't do this. You don't air out dirty laundry like this, man. You don't do this, especially when it's your star quarterback. You don't say this out loud to somebody for everybody to hear it. And players know this. Players know this is something you don't do. Okay. All right. It was the punt return that killed us. I mean, you can point at everything else. You can point at anything. Yo, Ivan, what's up, bro? My whole thing is you don't point out you don't point the finger. You don't say the turnover was the reason that we lost the last one. So you're saying Jalen Hurts turnover. It's not the offense's turnover because the offense had nothing to do with that play. Jalen Hurts had the ball and he just fumbled it and they scored a touchdown. Okay? That has nothing to do with the offense. That's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts fumbled it himself. Come on, man. Come on. This is wild. This is wild that for the vast majority of, from what I've seen, it's like, it's not a Devonta Smith, bro. You wild. You shouldn't have said that about Jalen. You shouldn't have said this because the fumble was not the reason we lost the game. So how are you pointing that out? If it wasn't the reason we lost the game, why are you saying this? And we all know that wasn't the reason. Did it change the complexity of the game? Sure. I'll give you that. It changed the complexity of the game. Okay. All right. But is it the reason we lost? Chill, bro. That's wild for that's something you hear from haters, not from the receiver. The fumble did not determine the ball game. Thank you. And that's what Devonta Smith is saying. He's saying the fumble was the reason we lost. The turnover. Bro, stop. What are you talking about? Don't you capping on you come on a mainstream platform and start capping, bro. The Eagles stay off of social media. The Eagles defensive line could have got pressure. It's so much you could get into, Coach Dante, bro. It's so much. We know the defense was the reason we lost, but he's still just being honest. I don't know. No, he's not being honest. He's lying to us, saying Jalen Hurts turnover was the reason we lost. That's what he said. And again, we were up 14. We were up 14 to 20. We're up 10 after the turnover. How is this the reason we lost? He's wrong. Okay. Devonta Smith can be wrong. Okay. He can be wrong. Okay. He's human as well. He's wrong for this. He's wrong for this. Okay. And thanks to you guys, I'm keeping more composure than I really thought I would have. I'm just shocked Buddy really came out and said this. You said, how did it not matter if it was returned for a touchdown? I'm saying it's not the reason we lost. It's not the reason we lost if we're up 14-24 at half. It's not the reason. That's what Devonta Smith is saying, and he's lying. Okay? He's lying. You making it bigger than what it is. I'm not. This has been going on for a whole day. When I started talking about it, it was already big. So what are you saying? How am I making something bigger than it already is? If this is the news right now. I don't create the news. This is what's going on right now, and I'm just saying he's wrong. I'm not making anything bigger than not. This is already something that's been big. This is not my fault. I mean, I didn't have anything. I didn't make this go viral. I mean, I just report on the news. I'm not making anything big. I'm just reporting on what someone has already made big. Jeremy says I factor in point shift swings, yada yada yada, bro. Okay, okay. You already said it wasn't the reason we lost, so we agree. So Devonta Smith is wrong because it wasn't the reason we lost. The Eagles could not stop the run in the second half, and also you can go on and on. Okay, you can go on and on. You see that? Exactly. You can go on and on. Unpredictable Tony. I say it's Jalen Hurts. You say it's Jalen Hurts what? I just say it's Jalen Hurts list the Super Bowl, and he can say it. People need to tell the truth instead of getting. Yeah, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Oh, okay. You said lost. Okay. I say it's Jalen Hurts that lost the Super Bowl. Okay, again, how if after the fumble we were up 14-24, we were up 10 after the fumble. Okay, how did he lose the Super Bowl? Okay, and just to kill that argument, okay, again, he had 374 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, which is the NFL record in the Super Bowl, with a 71% completion percentage, a QBR of almost 80, and a quarterback rating of 103. And 1 fumble, okay, that led to a touchdown. How is he the reason? You look at his stats and you look at the score after his only mistake, we were still up 10. Come on, man. That's wild. That's weird. That's weird. The fumble was the difference. 7 minus. No, that's not how the NFL works or sports, bro. That's not how it works. Why didn't Smitty call out? Dude, he shouldn't have called out anybody, but to call out the best player on the team who had the best performance, who played the best out of everyone. And it's wild, bro. He's making it seem like it happened with the game on the line, 10 seconds left on the goal line to win the game. Jalen Hurts fumbles. Bro, this shit happened in the second quarter, and we were still up at 10. But again, this shows me that dude is going to have to be perfect, or he's going to get blamed for he's going to get blamed for everything, bro. Like, for real. For dude to have such a perfect game, and for this to be for your teammate to say your one mistake that was a mute point is the biggest reason we lost. And for it to be Devonta Smith, it's shocking. It's shocking. After the fumble, Jalen Hurts did they get the touchdown? What? Right back into we were still, like I said, we were still up by 10, bro. Barber here, one of the ready to blame him. Yeah, I mean, if I can understand that if the game is like in crunch time, but still you can't really, if a mistake happens in situations like the fourth quarter or somewhere, I can understand that. But it was not huge at all. I watched the Super Bowl. Did you guys? I mean, it sounds like you guys didn't watch the Super Bowl to me. It sounds like y'all didn't watch the Super Bowl. If we're agreeing with him saying this crap. Uh yeah, it's wild. It's wild. That's the call that he said. He's more than just, but that's not all that he said. This is all that he said. Go to it and pull it up and listen, bro. Um, that's all that he said, bro. Yeah, okay, all right, bro. Whatever, man. Cool. That's what's up. If that's what you say, then I am athlete slash Devonta Smith. Go find it. That's all you got to do, and it'd be the same exact thing, bro. Come on, man. The Hurts fumble did not have any outcome. We were leading at half. Yeah, I think some of these guys are just haters, bro. I'm not a hater. I'm being um wait, no. I'm not saying people are haters for having a different view. I'm saying most of the haters that hate the Eagles, they use the Jalen Hurts fumble as a reason we lost. Like Dallas Cowboys fans, 49ers, people that hate the Eagles. So if you're aligning yourself with this when it's clearly not the case because we were up 10 and a half, it's like, okay, you're obviously being a hater. Because this is something that haters use to knock Jalen Hurts. So I'm not saying you're a hater for having a different view. I'm just saying most haters have that same kind of feel, or they feel the same way. So no, y'all know I'm not saying y'all haters for any of that. Third and fourth, and but again, he's not the normal math proves. Yeah, we're not talking about math here, bro. We're not talking about a mathematic equation. That again, we're talking about football. We're talking about football, bro. We're not talking about. I mean, of course, but again, bro, it was meaningless because we were still up at the half. Okay, we're not saying so. Hey, this is what the nerds are doing. Hey, if you take away the touchdown from the fumble, then the Eagles would have won. Like, come on, bro. That's so. It's not misleading at all. Not only is it misleading, but it's one of those arguments to where hate is like a hater, like, okay, let's grab something to use to hate, or it's just one of those things that come out of left field and it's just pure strictly from hate, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about math. We're not talking about subtracting a touchdown from that's not what we're talking about here, bro. I'll be honest with you. That's another mute point, and not to try to tarnish or discredit anyone that feels that way, okay? But we're not going back and subtracting points at the end of the day. Like, okay, here's the score. Now let's subtract 7 from what Jalen Hurts did. Oh, that's why they lost. Yeah, like, come on, bro. That's just it. That's come on, man. That's weird as hell. They probably talked about it. Yeah, they probably did. But again, you don't go out and say this about your quarterback, and especially when it's false. You don't blame a turnover that was meaningless. All right, you just don't do that. What's wrong with blaming turnovers? I mean, that's fine. You can't. I mean, again, okay, there's nothing wrong with blaming turnovers. There's nothing wrong. That's now you got a point. Now we're talking. You said what's wrong with blaming turnovers? It's the same as blaming penalties, not necessarily. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll give you that too. I'll give you that. Same as blaming it on drop passes. If someone, yeah, okay, but for one, you don't point the finger at. You could have said turnovers. Okay, cool. But he doubled down and said turnovers is why we lost. Okay. And when it's your quarterback, your star quarterback who was elite in the Super Bowl, you don't say this. Okay. Let's say for some reason it's true. You can say turnover. Let's say for some reason it's true. You don't do this to you don't say this about your star quarterback. Like, come on, man. I don't. This is something that's known around the NFL. You don't say this about your quarterback. Plain and simple. You don't do it. Players usually blame turnovers along with. I mean, it's known that turnovers dictate the game. Like, if you lose the turnover battle, you lose the game. Okay, but again, he didn't have to say any of that. You didn't have to blame. That wasn't the reason we lost, though. The turnover, it wasn't the reason. Okay, and we already agreed on that, Jeremy. We already agreed on that. We're up 10 at half. You're blaming the turnovers when that's not the reason we lost. Okay. Yeah. All right, bro. Yep. You could. You use your calculator. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Continue to calculate. The question shouldn't have been asked. It wasn't even a question. That wasn't really the question. He didn't even. He asked him, "What are they missing?" He asked them, "What are they missing?" He didn't have to answer that question like this. If we overcome this one thing, we'll be right where we left off last year. Again, he could have. Dude has so many ways of answering this question. You keep it in the family. Exactly. He had so many ways of answering this question. He went with the most outlandish. I personally think it changed the energy. I mean, yeah, but it wasn't the sole reason we lost, and we already agreed on that. If we went 3-and-out on that fumble play in case he scores on the next possession, it's no different. Oh, that's you know what, bro? That's a great answer, bro. That exactly. What's the difference? Well, I mean, if we go 3-and-out, we fumble. So I mean, field position change, and we still got to go score. But I get your point. But it's different now. But again, let's say we punt, right, and they score, and they drive down and score. There's no difference, But since it was Jalen Hurts that fumbled, oh yeah, they're gonna. It's like we have to play such a perfect game. We have to find a reason to blame him. Like, we have to, and it was so you had to reach because we were up 14-24. So it's like, okay, that's your argument. You're reaching. We were still up 10 points. Again, bro, that's one of those arguments that only the haters bring up. And for Devonta Smith to say this, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. I don't agree with anything he said. Okay, I don't. I just don't really agree with any of it. All right, now. Golly, that's I put a whole hour into that one. I didn't really expect to go in, but look, again, Devonta Smith, this was so weird, bro. Like, I wish he wouldn't have said it, man. Then, like, let's move along. He said he eyed it back. Yeah, I mean, I know we in the whole era of podcast and players, but yeah, but don't call out Jalen Hurts like that, bro, because he's the guy who actually he got you guys there. I mean, Devonta Smith, what did you do without what would you do without Jalen Hurts? You know what I'm saying? You need him, so you don't call him out. Of course, we know Jalen Hurts' reaction. He's not going to care. Jalen Hurts isn't really going to care. Probably, he's probably going to say, "Yeah, I can't turn the ball over in that situation." But you don't bring this up, bro. You don't say this about your quarterback. Your star quarterback. When they're calling out other players or teammates, it's funny because it's like, yeah, he a backup or whatever. When you're calling out a guy who led you guys to the Super Bowl, bro, there's more to this, okay? But this is just the look. Receivers can be prima donnas as well, okay? Jalen Hurts is there with AJ Brown. AJ Brown is getting all the Devonta may feel a certain type of way, or I don't know. I don't know. That's probably a little reach, but for him to say this, I'm questioning him. I'm questioning, like, dude, do you even want to? I mean, are you okay, bro? Like, why are you calling out Jalen Hurts on a public platform? We're saying he's the reason that we lost. His turnover was the reason we lost. Why are you doing this, dog? Why are you saying this? Crazy. Weird to me. Weird activity. None of it really matters. Let's leave it at that. We good. We going back. I mean, bro, no. I don't want to hear anything like this anymore. Like, even with podcasts in general, you got Jason Kelsey with a podcast, Darius Slay with a podcast. I mean, bro, like, come on. I wish they would just chill and just focus on football. Honestly, man, for real. Don't. It's good. It's good gossip or good stuff to talk about, but man, I don't know. Now, if this was Carson Wentz, you think Carson Wentz not gonna hear this and feel some type of way, or other quarterbacks? They do have like an ego, and NFL players are like that as well. Just because they're and that's what a lot of athletes, and I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts wouldn't feel a type of way about this, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, Jalen Hurts got his best friend over there. And for me personally, if I heard Devonta Smith say this about me, yeah, I'm finna feel some type of way, bro. And I mean, I don't care. I'm gonna feel some type of way. That's just me. Maybe Jalen Hurts is different, which I'm pretty sure he is. They all new age kids, bro. Grew up on social media. Yeah, but the podcast thing is pretty new, so it's not, and it's a whole podcast wave, and so, but yeah, dog, it's certain stuff you just don't say, man, and I don't agree with this. Let's move right along. Devonta Smith blames Jalen Hurts. Okay, yeah. Jalen Carter's Super Bowl, Jalen Carter's superhuman OTAs breakdown. When I've seen Jalen Carter do this, dog. Okay, right now that's 585. They're gonna end up putting some more plates on it here, but this is going to equal 605 pounds. This dude in high school was squatting 600 pounds. Now, look, he makes it look so easy. No struggle, no. Look, and now he's laughing. He's not out of breath or anything. That is wild to see him do that at 18, at 19, in high school. Now, Jalen Hurts is also squatting almost like squatting 600, in college. But he's doing it at Jalen Hurts looked like that was like probably his max, like 650 or something would be his absolute max. Dude look like he can squat over about 700 pounds. And you base that off just how his RPE, which is just how much does it look like he can do more? Absolutely. It like he could do about 3 or 4 reps. So that 3 or 4 reps can easily translate to maybe 650, 665 for a rep of 1. So I think dude is like at 700 right now. Squat. That is wild to see. That is really amazing. Like, dude, that's superhuman strength. If you can squat 700 pounds, bro. Like, how much force you can produce just from with that type of strength, I think he's going to be a dog. You just doing this in high school at 19? Why you in high school at 19? But okay, whatever. Here's Kenny Gainwell offseason. This is one of his workouts from his offseason. And again, Kenny Gainwell, he's one of my guys to where I think he can actually be a top. I think he's really good. Okay. In the playoffs, he's at his best. Every year in the playoffs, he's been a dog. You look at this last season, you look at his rookie season against Tampa Bay, he scored every touchdown. So he's showing up in the biggest moments. And I don't know what the Philadelphia Eagles are really his plans. Their plans are for Kenny Gainwell, but I think he's special. So I don't know, like wear and tear. They want to keep him healthy. They're not trying to, run him to the dirt or whatever. But I think dude needs to be out there more. Here, of course, is Khalid Ringo. I've seen a couple of his workouts, either from college or off season, just his off season work, and he puts in the work. He puts in the work for sure. He shows it day in and day out in college. He's uber athletic, crazy athletic talent. Yeah, and I've never seen a machine like that, but that's like a big pause, bro. But here's the squats. And he puts in a work, honestly, and it's good to see, anytime we got players working hard. He clocks in at like 17 miles an hour. He reportedly runs a 4.3. So 17.5 miles an hour. The questionable, like whatever that is, so it's good to see. It's good to see. Here we have Nolan Smith as a high schooler, fresh at an 18-year-old Nolan Smith putting in the work. You can see him early, looking ready, looking like he has all the potential in high school with some of these drills. You look at him, he's big, he's tall, he has more size than than you may notice. You may think he's tall, lanky. No, he's like his build is like he just looks bigger than he really is. But he looks bigger, bro. But he got like a tall, frail frame. Some of the form with some of these workouts are really like cringy to me. You got some OTA stuff and things like that. So the guys are putting in work, man, and this is always great to see. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they also were in conversations with the players, were talking just about the upcoming season and things like that. Hopefully we don't have Ringo covering DK. Carter going to make our young O-line even better. Yeah, this is a social media era, bro. It really is.
Here a couple of years, how much has your off-season sort of regimen changed as you sort of learned along the way?
And here, but they're talking about like the off season and things like that. But man, I just spent the whole hour on Devonta Smith, which is wild because I wanted to talk about other things, but I want to leave it at there. I think I just really needed to really voice my frustrations with Devonta Smith. But again, he's one of ours. We love him, and there's going to be the vast majority of people are going to, it's going to be hard to actually critique some of the players, because some of the blowback, but I'm just going to give them my honest opinion of how I feel, man. I don't care how other people feel and things like that, or, but Smitty bugging defense. Yeah, he definitely bugging, bro. He's really bugging. He's really tripping, man. And I know I'm not the only one that feel that way, but it's a lot of people. It's hard because like to even voice that kind of, because nobody's going to come out and say, hey, yeah, you tripping, Devonta. You know what I mean? And I get that. We're going to support our players and I rock with Devonta, but yeah, man, I really just had to, because it was wild. It was wild, bro. And but it's been an hour. I was really only trying to be on here for an hour. I'm gonna go watch some of these clips from the Philadelphia Eagles, what they posted, and I'll get up with you guys later. I'm getting out of here.